Hello, good morning, everyone. You're welcome to this channel. Today we'll be discussing chemistry. If you know you have challenge in chemistry, follow this video because it's going to be a series, and this will be the first. This is the first part of it. Now we are going to build this course from the most basic level that even if you don't have anything, if you don't know anything about chemistry, this video is enough to groom you in chemistry that you can start up and start building from wherever you stop on your own without having any challenge. Today we will not be doing much of writing. We want to go into in-depth understanding, words by words, of the concept of chemistry. As time goes on, we will start doing more of writing. Today, what is chemistry? Chemistry, is a course, is a subject, and is defined as a branch of science, one of the main branch of science that deals with the study of the composition, the property, and uses of matter. You get? Now, so when we talk about chemistry, there are three things that are most important. Any topic you see in chemistry, there are three focus there. It does what? It study what? The property. It studies let's say the composition first, the property, and the uses of what? Matter. Do you understand? What then is matter? We say matter is anything that have weight, that have mass, and can occupy space. So all our study of chemistry is centered on what? Matter. It's not government, it's not the nature of the economy, it's not force in physics. Whatever you cannot touch, whatever you cannot feel, just believe in chemistry. And the understanding of this will narrow your mind as to what you are expecting. Whatever you cannot feel, you cannot touch, chemistry don't care about it. Chemistry don't care about love. Do you understand? So we go to our key thing: matter, the composition of the matter, the property of that matter, and the uses of the matter. Now, we will not deal much. Let's start with the composition. When you hear the word composition, what comes to your mind? What a matter contain? You feel it because there is something it contains. Do you understand? Good. Now, every matter contains one tiny particle called an atom. Now, what is an atom? From the ancient Greek, they believe that when you pick an object, let's say this is my pen. When you keep breaking and breaking and breaking this pen, the smallest pieces you can get is called atom. The smallest indivisible pieces you can get is called an atom. Do you understand? Then the question is, why is it that some objects is colored, some are white, and the rest? As we go on, you get to understand it. I will not deal much on the composition because the composition is the faculty of chemistry, is the main thing we are going to deal with. So let's go to the property. My focus will be the property. Now, you have known this pen. This pen is a matter. Chemistry will first know what does it contain, what makes this one blue. Why is it that this one transparent? That's what the composition does. Now, what is the property? The property is that it is blue. Do you understand? That's what chemistry deals with. Now, we have two types of properties in chemistry. We have the physical properties and the chemical properties. Now, why am I saying all this? When you go to your chemistry textbook, many students find it challenging. Whichever topic you go, you see the chemical property and the physical property. You understand? So you go about cramming it. Sometimes when you are asked, people even mixed up the whole property. They ask you give chemical property, you mix both the chemical property and the physical property. Your understanding of the difference between these two will help you a lot. Because whenever you go in chemistry, like we said, chemistry deals with the study of the composition, the property, and the uses of matter. So you will always meet the property. Now, what is physical property and what is chemical property? The word physical means you can see it. Do you understand? You don't need anybody to explain it. You can feel it. It's clear, like it's obvious. It's something you can easily detect. So physical properties of a matter, these are what? The property, that is the nature of that matter that you can deduce or you can tell without taking any experiment, without having to do anything special. Take, for instance, one of the property of this cover of pen is blue. That's the property of this pen. That's the physical property. Another property is that it is a solid object. You can hold it. Do you understand? That's what chemistry deals with, like physical property deals with. Those properties. One of the physical property of water is that water is colorless. Another physical property of water is that water is tasteless. You understand? And is odorless. One of the property of this book is that is solid. Do you understand? It's one of the physical property of it. So when you talk about physical property, you talk about the color. You understand? The state of the matter. Is it solid? Is it liquid or gas? That's physical property. Now, the next thing is now the chemical properties. The chemical property is also a major focus. In fact, it's the major focus of chemistry. What's the chemical property? Chemical property, these are the property of a substance that can only be deduced by experiment. Those ones, you have to go into experiment, do one thing or the other, change the state of or the nature of the object to know the chemical property of that substance. Now, look at this. This pen, if you set it on fire, it can burn. Do you understand? So we say one of the chemical property of this pen is that it undergo burning, combustion reaction. Do you understand? Water cannot burn. Combustion is not a property of water. you understand? One of the chemical property of fuel is that it can also burn. Another chemical property, let's pick your acid, for instance. One chemical property of an acid is that it reacts with metal, it melts metal, it reacts with metal to liberate hydrogen. Like when there is an acid and you drop a pieces of iron inside, you see the iron dissolving in your face. You understand? And it changed one of the major thing in chemical properties that it changed the state of that object. Do you understand? And can only be deduced during chemical reaction. And whatever product you got, you cannot go back again. That's another thing. So know this. Very important. The composition of the matter. I say we'll deal more on the composition later. We say every object is composed of what? Small indivisible particle called an atom. And we have different type of atom. You understand? I don't want to talk much on that now. It's a very complex concept we'll talk about later. Then we talk about the property of the matter. The property, we say we have physical property and chemical property. The physical property, these are the ones you can easily see. The chemical properties, they are the one you can deduce during the experiment. Do you understand? One of the chemical property of water is that when you react it, when something like all these group 1 metal, all these sodium and the rest, when they react with it, they form alkaline. And that's what I don't want to go deep into now. Do you understand? But the major focus, what you have in the back of your mind is that chemical properties, they are properties that can be gotten during the experiment. You understand? Then the next thing is uses of matter. The essence of the study of any course is the use. If it has no use, then forget about it. You get the uses of the matter. We still pick water because, like I said, we are starting from the basics. We want you to get it straight, like nothing to cram, nothing to memorize. Everything, it becomes part of you. Like it's something you can remember. Now, when we talk about uses, you know what it is. Each of this matter you are studying, what are their uses? What are they used for? Do you understand? That's what chemistry deals with. And it doesn't end. Chemistry does not stop at the level of the current use. You understand? Today we drink water, we use water for cooking, we use water for producing different chemicals. And people are still on research as to what other uses of water, like what other things can water be used for. You get? So the uses has to do with what can this be used for. And as you are studying it, bear it in mind. All the uses that are listed in your textbooks. Then you reason out your own way. What other things can this be used for? That is the genesis of invention. Do you understand? I hope you enjoyed this session. And this will be the end for this part. We say chemistry is a branch of science that deals with the study of the composition, the properties, and the uses of matter. You understand? That's the first thing to get into your head. You understand? It's a branch of science. As we know, what science? Science is a systematic study of nature. The matter is part of nature. You understand? Systematic in the sense that you don't just, it's not something that your village people just look at the sky and say, God, the rain fall this time, last year, it will fall this time, next year. No, that is not a systematic study. It has to do with a precise stuff. Do you understand? You don't give it based on what happened before. You study the current happening, or observe the current weather and then predict it. Do you understand? So that's what chemistry is. It's very systematic, very precise. You understand? With high accuracy, it's very systematic. You understand? So you are welcome to this session. If you are out to learn chemistry without cramming, then follow this to the end. Thank you. Like, subscribe, and share. You're most welcome.